We are here outside Mythical Mountain. It's a toys, comics, and collectibles store here in Jacksonville. Let's go inside and see what they have. Okay, so I didn't want to record in the store because I was the only one in the store at the time. But as you can see, they have a ton of Marvel Legends figures. Everything from Black Widow to Deadpool and Doctor Strange. And here we got the wall of Funko Pops. Every Funko Pop from every line you can ever imagine, this store had it. Star Wars, Wonder Woman, Marvel, and as I come over here, you got anime, Doctor Who, more Marvel. They have wrestling right here. They had the newest series with China, Steve Austin, Drew McIntyre. They have television shows like Rick and Morty, Golden Girls, Looney Tunes. They had the brand new Corella Pops, which I didn't even know existed. They had Disney. They had every Funko Pop from every line you can ever imagine. They had some loose figures over here, some loose Marvel Marvel Legends, and some loose wrestlers. They had Hollywood Hogan, Jakks BCA Goldust, some Titantron, some BCAs, so that's always cool to see. Over here you got old Marvel Select figures, Universal Monsters. They had Nightmare Before Christmas figures, which was cool to see. I'm a real big fan of that Disney movie. Some more Marvel Legends. Some vintage Marvel figures here. Some Legos, statues, figurines. It's just so much stuff right here packed into this little section of the store. And it just reminded me of when I was a worker and then a manager of a comic book store back in Illinois. It just brought back so many good memories of these type of figures in our stores. But yeah, Marvel Select Legends, some statuettes again. Just so much stuff right here in this little section of Marvel and Funko Pops. So much stuff crammed into this section. As I made my way over here, you had some more vintage Battle Beasts, some Looney Tunes and Batman figures, Ninja Turtles, He-Man, and some more Doctor Who figures. Then I made my way over to the horror section. I'm not too big of a horror movie person, but I like classic horror films like Halloween. That's probably my favorite horror franchise. And of course the Universal Monsters, which they had some to the left, as I'll get to that soon. But yeah, some NECA figures, some you don't even see in Target. I really like this Hitchcock from Super 7. I was tempted to pick him up just because Hitchcock movies are so fun to watch because they deal with like your mind and like classic horror synopsis. So I'm always a big fan of Hitchcock, so I was tempted to pick that up. But yeah, you got Universal Monsters, Mego figures, NECA, old vintage figures from them. And I turned around, he had more stuff in cabinets. Addams Family, vintage glasses, Batman statues, Deadpool, Phoenix, more glasses, Nightmare Before Christmas. They had this awesome Harry Potter snow globe. He had this Princess Aurora figurine, Draco Malfoy and Professor Snape, Hermione Granger. Just these Harry Potter figurines were so awesome to look at. More little Harry Potter figurines, RoboCop, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and some more Disney figurines down here. To the side they had the boxes and also of ones that were not on display. I'm a real big fan of how this McGonagall and Snape figurines look. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, so it was like really cool to see this stuff. And on the other side, they had Marvel figurines. Some more statues and busts. Lord of the Rings, Deadpool, Batman, Superman. Some Universal Monsters, Creature from the Black Lagoon. More Marvel busts. Some anime figurines. I really like these retro Disney, DC figures on this retro carding. They really eye-catching. They really pop. Nice Black Panther statue. And then I saw this awesome Arkham Asylum, Arkham City Joker bust. That was really cool. Mini Batcave. And they had this WCW Road Rebels. They had Sting, and they also had Goldberg. That was really cool to see. I love 90s wrestling items. Even if I don't collect it, it's really cool to see that in stores. Here they had the new Mortal Kombat from McFarlane. And then this really caught my eye. They had a little section of Bend-Ems. They had a little WCW Ric Flair. And then they had the WWF Just Toys. They had Bret Hart. And in the purple variant, they had Rocky Maivia, which I know he's very popular nowadays because of that trading card. Psycho Sid. D'Lo Brown. And behind D'Lo Brown is Hunter Hurst Helmsley. And unfortunately, Helmsley's card was a little yellowed, so I didn't pick that up. And when I wanted to look at Rocky Maivia, I noticed that his card was taken away. So they probably know about how valuable the trading card is, so it just sucks, because that would have been really cool to pick up. I love the Bend-Ems, so it's always cool to see Bend-Ems in the stores. It's really nostalgic for me. And down here they had these WCW Big Heads, and also this, they had DDP and Hollywood Hogan. And they also had this talking Scott Steiner figure, which I thought was pretty cool. They had Assassin's Creed figures. And on the wrestling section, they had newer Championship Showdown 2-packs. They had this Jakks BCA Blue Blazer. And then this one was interesting to find just hanging on the pegs. It's a Jakks 1 of 3,000 Roddy Piper. Toy Fair exclusive. That's pretty cool to find. Giant Gonzalez. And not one of Undertaker's best opponents, but still pretty cool to see his figure. Behind Gonzalez, there was a Ken Shamrock Bend-Em 2. And a couple more classic superstars. Andre the Giant. And another guy right there. I didn't get a chance to look at his name. Down below, they had some WCW San Francisco toy makers. They had Scott Steiner, Jimmy Hart, Taskmaster. And behind the Taskmaster is everybody's favorite shelf warmer from the 90s. They had Signature Series Jacqueline. Down below, they had the jacked up Sable. They had Elite 81 Rock, some basics, Bobby Roode. They had that awful Alexa Bliss one. Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn, Elias, AJ Styles Elite, and then here we go. Elite 79 Classic, Elite 79 Collector's Edition Undertaker. You know, no Taker Left Behind is our model, but I decided to leave it for another collector. Decade of Domination Series 2, Kofi and Triple H. WrestleMania Elite Goldberg. WCW Psycho Sid, and Decade of Domination Beth Phoenix. I was really tempted to walk away with that Undertaker. You know, no Taker Left Behind is our motto. But, you know, when you have 4 or 5 at home, you know, you can leave it for somebody else. You had some anime figurines. This Sable caught my eye, because it's the same type of box the Undertaker was in. That white exclusive 1 of 5,000 collector guide. Some more anime Japanese figurines. leads me to the DC section with some DC statues and figurines and some vintage 90s figures. Now the 90s Batman movies are some of my favorite Batman movies. Batman Forever is my favorite Batman movie. I love Val Kilmer as Batman, and I love Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. So whenever I get to see those figures in a collectible shop, I get so nostalgic in my childhood because I had them. Here we are having some more Batman animated series figures, Legends of Batman, and the new McFarlane Batman series. Some Total Justice, JLA, another animated series 2-pack, Multiverse, Justice League, Superman animated series. It's like at least one of every Batman licensed figure, they had something. They had the DC Collectibles series, Batman and Robin, Batman Arkham, the Multiverse. So that was cool. In the next area, they had like Star Wars and miscellaneous. So you have some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figurines, the NECA Back to the Future, some Star Trek, Matrix. The Super 7 reaction figures are always cool to see. I love retro karting figures. I'm a huge fan of Back to the Future and Christopher Lloyd. So it was cool to see little figures of him. I really like this 1950s Doc. I like that scene in the movie when he's visited by Marty and he has that huge helmet on his head and he talks about the future. He basically had the whole series here. I think they had everybody from series 1 and 2. He had Doctor Who figures and some more BBC TV series figures as well, which is cool to see. I'm not too big of a Doctor Who fan. I liked Peter Capaldi. He's really the only Doctor I really saw, and he's probably my favorite since he's the only one I really saw. He has some Kevin Sorbo Hercules figures, Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was on that section. Some Micro Machine Star Wars. There's the Turtles reaction figures. And then G.I. Joe, they had the new G.I. Joe series here. They had Lady J, Cobra Commander, and a few other ones I didn't really take a look at who the names were. But it's cool to see, like, they had a mix of new stuff and old stuff here, so it was really cool. Like, a little bit of everything for everybody. And like I say in the pod, I'm a big fan of, like, miniature figures, so these Micro Machines, I really am taking a liking to. Especially this one I saw down here. It's called the Death Star. And it has like all like the major characters in this one. And it's really cool to see. I was really tempted to pick that up. Maybe next time. And then this leads to the Star Wars section. They had stuff from The Mandalorian. They had play sets like the Carbon Freezing Chamber. Figurines, statues, Power of the Force. Stuff that came with collector's coins, Episode 1 figures, Black Series. These are really cool to see. They had stuff from The Force Awakens, the Saga Collection, Episode 3, Episode 1, some Lego model kits, some Vintage Collection, Power of the Force, Black Series. They had deluxe sets from Power of the Force as well. Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones. They had the new Mandalorian Vintage Collection series. That was cool to see. And some game pieces. And I saw these 12-inch dolls. They were cool to see. Except that Han. He looks horrible. But what can you say? It's the 90s. And more Star Wars statuettes. And near the back of the store, they had like a Harry Potter section. And like a goblets. They had mini figurines. They had Harry Potter figures. They had this Yule Ball Harry Potter doll. Some 90s Spawn. Addams Family figures. heavy metal reaction figures, Motorhead, Iron Maiden. He had a few more back there. I didn't really take a look. More Spawn. Lord of the Rings. Had a lot of Lord of the Rings merchandise. Game of Thrones mugs. Thundercats reaction figures. Bill and Ted. And some more Funko Pops. And this is almost like the clearance section back here. So just overflow of Funko Pops. Some pint-sized Funko figures. And just a ton of Funko items. There's some books, some t-shirts, and some more vintage figures. Like Batman Forever Riddler, the Shadow, X-Men. But yeah, that's it for Mythical Mountain. I hope you enjoyed this toy hunt, and it was really cool to be here and check things out. We just left Mythical Mountain, a great toys, comics, and collectibles store here in Jacksonville, Florida. If you're in the area, please give them a visit. As you saw, they have a ton of stuff available. I will post their address in the description below. And I had to walk away with something, and I picked up this Dilo Bendum. Series 13. I'm a sucker for Bendums, especially the older series. You know, you don't see them around too much. So it's a good card. It still has the trading card attached. So I had to pick this up. They had so much stuff to choose from. I thought I was going to walk away with that collector's edition taker. It's tempting, you know, no taker left behind is our motto. But I already have like, I think 4 or 5 of those at home. So can't go wrong with Bendums. So if you're in the Jacksonville area, give Mythical Mountain a visit. You won't be sorry.